welcome back. We've got a very exciting company to talk about today. I really am shocked that there isn't more talk about this company because there should be. The company is Scotts Miracle-Gro, coming off a pretty incredible quarter where certain segments of their business grew exponentially. The reason I took up an interest in this company is actually I've been doing some work for TaskRabbit, doing some landscaping. Couldn't help but notice every time I'm planting flowers, what am I using? Scotts Miracle-Gro. That and a recent conversation I had with Sal Caruso, you may remember. I did an interview with him on the channel a long time ago, almost a year ago now. It's pretty shocking, but we were catching up the other day, and he was telling me why he likes Scotts Miracle-Gro. So I'll link our interview from last year in the comments below, but I figured Scotts Miracle-Gro was worth a look. As you can see here, the stock is down quite a bit, surprisingly. It's down 40%, let's say, in the last 6 months or so. And where it currently sits, it's got a PE ratio of 15. This company also pays a nice dividend of $2.64. You could get in on that before the ex-dividend date, August 26th, coming up. So after reviewing the company today, taking into account, the conversations I've had and how much Scotts Miracle-Gro I've been working with lately, I had to start a position. So I did start buying some shares today, and we're going to go over why, because I found some amazing things about this company. All right, so this is coming from the quarterly report directly from the CEO, who said, "For more than a year, I've been telling anyone who would listen that I believe Scotts Miracle-Gro would exit COVID as a fundamentally stronger company. And the deeper we dig, the more we analyze, the more I'm convinced that is exactly what happened. Our consumer base today is vastly bigger and more engaged than prior to the pandemic. Our relationship with those consumers is stronger and more personal than ever, thanks to the overhaul of our marketing programs, blah, blah. Our growth engine, Hawthorne, continues to outperform the market and is positioning itself for long-term success. We've built competitive advantages that others in the industry can't match." Anyone who works in the landscaping business or just likes to do gardening around the house, let me know in the comments below. Are you using Scotts Miracle-Gro? I'm really curious because I'm not sure what else can really compare. I know that they do have some competitors, but they're definitely a leader in the field. So we brought science-based innovation to this industry. We continue to embrace a vision that is driving us to explore new and creative opportunities for growth. In addition to the strength of our businesses, our balance sheet gives us more financial flexibility than we've had in a decade. We have opportunities to invest in immediate growth, and we'll pursue those. We also have opportunities to invest in long-term growth, and we're pursuing that as well. And we have opportunities to return cash to shareholders, Miliki, which we'll also pursue, especially given the recent pullback in our share price. So let's just hit on some of the key points he made here, which I highlighted. First, I want to discuss the continued strength of our U.S. consumer business. Consumer engagement remains strong, and by the time we navigate through the next year, we expect to have retained nearly all of the growth captured in 2020. I'm not sure many other CPG companies or consumer packaged good companies that can say that, and that's the other thing I really like about this company. Low PE ratio, I don't know if I mentioned that, around 15, so it's a great buy right now compared to the rest of the market. And I don't really own any consumer packaged good companies, so I'm excited to add this to the portfolio. Second, Hawthorne. Again, the trends are extremely strong. Now, Hawthorne is their segment. We'll get to it in a minute. Has to do with the cannabis sector, and they're basically making, you know what, let's just pull up the Hawthorne stuff right now. So Hawthorne Hemp Farming, built to serve growers. Hawthorne Gardening Company carries a broad offering of soils, nutrients, supplements, and professional technical services for both conventional and organic hemp farming. If you want to play the cannabis industry, I think this company is probably one of the most well-positioned ones to do it, because while everyone's going to be competing, there's too much supply and not enough demand, let's say, with cannabis. Well, what do they need to grow the cannabis? Soil. And Scotts Miracle-Gro, they are involved with hydroponics too. We're going to get to that as well. They recently acquired a hydroponics company. So this is good diversity. I like to see them making acquisitions that relate to their core function. These are all segments of the business that can work off of each other and help the company to prosper even more. Now, while we're here on the website, real quick, we'll just take a quick look. You can see a lot of their brands, which you probably recognize. Lawn care, they have Scotts, Earth Grow, yada yada, gardening, Miracle-Gro, using a lot of that, hydroponics here, and some pest and weed control. And again, please let me know in the comments below if you've used any of these brands and what your experience was. Are you happy with them? Anyway, I digress. Let's get back to the earnings report. So the Hawthorne, let's just call it the cannabis segment. Trends are extremely strong. We're up 48% in the quarter, and we continue to expect growth of 40 to 45% on a full year basis. They recently announced a small but strategic bolt-on acquisition for Hawthorne. We continue exploring opportunities that are bigger in scope, and we are increasingly committed to finding creative ways to invest in other areas of the cannabis industry. This company's onto something, I think. So their research suggested that entering the season, 85% of consumers who came into the category last year would return. Good to see a strong recurring revenue. Our third quarter historically accounts for about 55% of full year point of sales. So this is one thing to be aware of the company. It is a cyclical business, and I'll show you guys on the chart right here. So if we look at macro trends, this is a company that does the majority of its business in 2 of the 4 quarters of the year. Makes sense. Obviously, I don't think people are doing too much outdoor gardening in winter, depending on where you're located. And it is good to see that overall, it looks like, as of late, the numbers have been getting closer together and not further, which is good to see. A more even spread through quarter, but even still, this could be a strength of the company because you can rely on them on these quarters where other companies in your portfolio may be struggling. Our evolving vision is to create the optionality to have an early mover advantage in the broader U.S. cannabis market when federal law allows. There's little doubt this industry is poised for significant growth. I agree, and that's great. They're thinking long term. They're positioning themselves well. This is a company that's going to greatly prosper, and once that federal legalization comes, you can invest in these junk cannabis companies that I really just don't see how they're going to survive. The majority of them will not. Or you can invest in something like Scotts Miracle-Gro, which is going to prosper tremendously. Based on everything we're seeing, it's hard to imagine growth being below 10 to 20% next year. I know that feels like a conservative estimate to many. Perhaps it is. Perhaps our guidance range will be different. That's good. That's a conservative estimate. We're talking about double-digit growth, 10 to 20%. Possibility of it being much higher. Why is this company not being talked about more? I don't know. All right, and then some words from the CFO really quick. In 2020, the U.S. consumer business grew 92% in Q4 and Hawthorne grew 64%, so the comps are extremely high. So this could have to do with why we saw the stock price go down so much, because obviously back in 2020 when the pandemic was really at its height, I say, hopefully we don't go back to that, but everyone's stuck at home, couldn't do much besides garden, and so they did make significantly more money, and it kind of came a little bit back down to earth this year, but they're still doing very well. We expect Hawthorne to finish the year, their cannabis segment, with 40% to 50% growth on top of last year's 60% growth. In fact, our sales after 9 months this year are already 7% higher than all of 2020. We still have another 3-4 months left in the year, and they're already 7% higher sales than all of 2020. Let me just repeat that. This business continues to thrive. Now also, the new CFO spent his recent time in Hawthorne, where, as you can see here, the CFO came from the Hawthorne division, so he really knows, he's got a grasp on what's going on over there in Hawthorne, where he spent the previous 6 years. We have built competitive advantages that continue to propel that business forward too. In addition, our low debt average, which is less than 2.2 times at the end of the quarter, gives us an enormous amount of financial flexibility to continue funding acquisitions and infrastructure improvement while also returning cash to shareholders. So I'm interested to see where this goes. There's been talk of special dividends that Scotts Miracle-Gro is going to pay, talk of share buybacks. So that's all great stuff. So again, just to recap really quick, company-wide third quarter sales increased 8%. Largely driven by Hawthorne's growth of 48%. U.S. consumer sales did decline 4%, but remained 19% higher year to date. Earnings per share increased 12%, and their hydrologic acquisition will add approximately $20 million in sales. So obviously, hydroponics, Hawthorne, Miracle-Gro, indoor, outdoor agriculture, this all goes hand in hand. It's good to see that they're making sensible acquisitions that complement the main business here. So I do want to keep it short today. So just to give you a quick, recap, or if you weren't aware, Scotts Miracle-Gro has 3 reportable segments: U.S. Consumer, Hawthorne, and Other. U.S. Consumer consists of the company's consumer lawn and garden business located in the U.S. Hawthorne consists of the company's indoor and hydroponic gardening business. Other consists of the company's consumer lawn and garden businesses in geographies other than the U.S. and the company's product sales to commercial nurseries, greenhouses, and other professional customers. So guys, I did really like what I was seeing today researching this company, and let me know what you think of Scotts Miracle-Gro in the comments below. Do you own this stock? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when I post future videos. Alrighty, this is Vinny from the Investment Club, and I'll see you next time.